Welcome back to AI Money Factory, your shortcut to smarter income in the age of artificial intelligence. Something massive is happening, and almost nobody is really talking about it. The job market, the thing that gives millions of people a salary, identity, and a daily routine, is starting to crack everywhere. And if you think your job is safe, you're going to want to hear this. This is not just another small economic slowdown. This is not just a rough patch we'll get through. This is the beginning of a massive shift, a silent crash that is already redefining the value of your work without you noticing it. Welcome to a massive job market crash is coming, and no one's ready. Let's start with something simple. Look around you. You might still see full offices, colleagues on video calls, job postings on LinkedIn and Indeed. On the surface, everything looks normal. Headlines say unemployment is under control, that the economy is holding up better than expected. But behind those reassuring words, a very different reality is taking shape. Companies have started freezing hiring. Automation projects have moved from experiments to top strategic priorities. And quietly, thousands of people are falling off payrolls every week. No big scandal, no dramatic headlines, just restructuring emails, non-renewed contracts, short-term roles that simply end with no replacement. This is the most dangerous phase of a crash, the phase where, statistically, things still look okay. Then, the dam starts to crack. First, tech. People tell themselves, it's fine, they overhired during the pandemic. Then banks, then logistics, then education, then healthcare and public services. Slowly, even the jobs everyone thought were untouchable start to disappear. You see senior engineers changing their status to open to work. Salespeople with years of experience suddenly competing against juniors and against AI tools. Nurses, teachers, office workers picking up extra shifts, side gigs, and weekend jobs just to keep a normal standard of living. Officially, the labor market is resilient. Unofficially, its foundations are eroding. This crash did not appear out of nowhere. It has been built, slowly, by three silent forces working in parallel for years. If you understand these three forces, you understand what is happening and what is going to happen to your career if you do nothing. Force number 1, AI, automation. For years, everyone repeated that AI would mainly hit repetitive, low-skilled tasks. Today, it is coming for brain jobs. AI systems are writing, analyzing, summarizing, calculating, generating reports, emails, scripts, slides, visuals, sales pages, full presentations. Where it used to take a copywriter, a designer, an assistant, a junior analyst, now one person with the right tools can do all of that in a single afternoon. Inside many companies, the question is no longer, will we replace people with AI? The question is, how many people can we remove without damaging our public image? Force number 2, the obsession with efficiency. Boards and investors are focused on one thing, short-term profitability. A CEO, who optimizes costs, who cuts 5, 10, sometimes 20% of staff is seen as decisive and disciplined, even if behind those numbers there are thousands of lives put on hold. Fewer salaries, higher margins, stock price up, bonuses paid. And if, on a human level, it is a silent disaster that rarely makes the news. Force number 3, the illusion of digital opportunity. An entire generation was sold the dream that going online was the path to freedom. Freelancers, creators, remote workers, consultants, solopreneurs. On paper, it looks like an escape. In reality, it has become an overcrowded arena where millions of people fight for a few contracts, a few views, a few dollars in ad revenue. Platforms cutting payouts, algorithms pushing a handful of big creators and leaving thousands of others invisible, race to the bottom pricing on freelance marketplaces. Work has not disappeared. It has been moved, fragmented, and in many cases, devalued. These 3 forces together, AI, cost-cutting, and the digital illusion, are rewriting what it means to have a job. Most people only realize it the day they receive a short meeting invite or a cold HR email that changes everything. Behind every number, there is a human story, far more brutal than any chart can show. A 52-year-old father laid off after 20 years in the same company, forced to rebuild his resume from scratch and compete with 20-somethings and with AI tools that can now do most of his admin work. A young graduate who stacks internships and temporary contracts but never gets a stable position because the company has no visibility on future market conditions. A nurse or a teacher who works overtime and freelances on the side, then picks up weekend shifts just to stay above water. We talk about losing your job like it is just an economic event. But for many people, it is an identity crisis. You no longer know what to answer when someone asks, "So, what do you do?" You start doubting your skills, your value, your place in the world. And while that happens, official indicators still claim that everything is fine. What comes next is the second phase of the crash, the brutal repricing of human labor. And sector after sector, it is no longer your degree that protects you. It is no longer your years of service. It is no longer your loyalty. It is your ability to reinvent yourself faster than the market is changing. We are entering a world where job descriptions mutate every 6 months, where employees are expected to work with AI, understand tools, and constantly self-educate. The winners of the next decade will not be the ones with the most impressive resume on paper, but the ones who can learn fast, adapt their skills, and use AI as leverage, instead of competing head-on with it. Work is not disappearing, but the kind of work that is well paid, respected, and relatively stable is changing right in front of us. So what does this actually mean for you? The hard truth is that nobody is coming to save you. Not your employer, not your diploma, not the government. This job market crash will not be fixed by a single policy or law. Because this is not just an economic downturn, it is a paradigm shift. That leaves you with two options. Option 1, hope things go back to normal. Cling to your current role, your title, your status, and try not to look too closely at what is changing around you. Option 2, accept that the rules of the game have changed. And ask yourself, honestly, how do I become someone who cannot be easily replaced by a script, an API, or a lower cost worker on the other side of the world? Across almost every industry, there are 3 types of people who are more resilient in this crash, and sometimes even benefit from it. People who build with AI, not against it. They use these tools to produce faster, better, with real, human added value, strategy, creativity, judgment, vision. People who solve specific, valuable problems, fully generic, replaceable profiles, are the most exposed. But someone who can solve a clear, painful, measurable problem with real financial or operational impact will always be in demand. People who own their audience or their distribution. Those who have built a community, an email list, a client base, a real reputation, can pivot much faster when one product, service, or job category starts to collapse. None of this is easy. None of this is instant, but it is possible. At this point, the question is no longer, is a job market crash coming? The signals are already here. Hiring freezes, mass layoffs, wage pressure, exploding automation, AI adoption everywhere. The real question is, will you go through this crash as a passive victim, or will you use it as a turning point to redesign your path? Every major economic upheaval creates 2 groups of people. Those who lose almost everything, and those who see, earlier than others, where the world is moving. The ones who start learning new skills before they are forced to. The ones who experiment with new ways of working, selling, and creating before their old job disappears. The ones who take back control instead of waiting to be told what to do. Yes, a massive job market crash is coming. Almost nobody is truly ready. But some people will be far less vulnerable than others, and that will not be a matter of luck. Deep down, the real question is not, will my job survive? Because many jobs will not survive or will be completely transformed. The real question is, will I survive this shift? Will I adapt fast enough not to be left behind? The crash is coming. You still have time to decide which side of the story you want to be on. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.